Good evening there, everybody. What is happening? Hopefully you all are having a wonderful day today. So I thought that I would do a little video. I did a couple of videos recently on Deontay Wilder, and of course I had a lot of attention from a lot of Deontay Wilder fans, which I knew predictably most likely I would. When you release a video about Deontay Wilder, you're going to get a lot of attention. And if you don't agree with the recent accusations that have recently been made about Tyson Fury, you're not going to be extremely popular because Deontay Wilder has a very, very big fan base. And when it comes down to it overall, unfortunately, he has a very big delusional fan base. Now, of course, if you know overall what the accusations have been, it has been that Tyson Fury has cheated, and that overall, you can see his knuckles in the gloves, and overall he used an egg weight and all that sort of stuff, blah 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 blah. And I just wanted to show these two pictures right here, because these are the pictures that they claim are 100% authentic. And I personally believe that they are photoshopped, and the reason why I believe they are photoshopped is because this apparently has came from one source. I find it very hard to believe that not one other photographer out there could find the gloves looking like this. And on top of that, when I have watched the fight for myself, even in replays and in up-close versions, I have never seen the gloves look anything like the way that they did in these pictures. So that's the problem. We're going to take a look at the fight today for ourselves. Not the whole fight, but just in certain situations. Just in certain situations where I think overall we can get the best angle, or overall the glove up close. And we're going to see if we see the glove look anything like this. Okay? So take a good look at the pictures on the right, and let's head into it. So this first angle we're going to see is not necessarily when Tyson Fury is punching, but this was round one, and we're going to mainly be looking at the replays because those are going to be the best slow motion angles that we can get. And let's just take a look at this play right here and see if Tyson Fury's gloves look anything like this. Alright, and remember, they have to allege that it's the right glove because this alleged dent that they allege is in Deontay Wilder's skull, is from Tyson Fury's fist. And also, let me tell you this, because this also doesn't make any sense either. They're now alleging that Tyson Fury had an egg weight in his own glove. But if he had an egg weight in his glove, because the reason why they had to allege that he had an egg weight was because they finally figured out that the knuckles would usually bust before the skull if the knuckles are going to hit the skull. When it comes down to it overall, so that means, of course, Tyson Fury would have shattered his hand to pieces, of course. But basically, when it comes down to it, now they have to allege that he had an egg weight in there. Well, how the hell can there be an egg weight in there if the pictures that we saw in the first place of his knuckles clearly showing, how could there be an egg weight in there if we can obviously very clearly see his knuckles? That doesn't make any damn sense. The pictures very obviously were set up to the point to where we would see his knuckles. And now they have to allege overall whoever put that, narrative out there that there was a dent in his head, now they have to allege, well, it can't be the knuckles, so it has to be an egg weight. Well, how the hell would we not see an imprint of an egg weight, but an imprint of his knuckles? That doesn't make any sense. And once again, you're not even going to see an imprint of his knuckles here. But let's just see here. And let me actually put this on slow motion myself so we get to see Tyson Fury's glove at a good speed here. I don't see anything wrong with Tyson Fury's left or right glove. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Does it look like in that angle there was anything wrong with Tyson Fury's glove? And this is not going to be the only example that we show. But when it comes down to it, just for that, for example, does that look like a concave glove to you? Does that look anything like the pictures? that you saw. This is why I'm saying the photos are not authentic, and why I do not believe overall that they are just some of the authentic photos, and why I believe personally that they were edited or photoshopped in some way. But let me pause it and let's go to another part. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this third round right here. Now, there is no replays of the second round, and I could not find any up-close angles of Tyson Fury's gloves, so let's just watch the replays here. And let's play this in slow motion. Now, of course, this was in the third round when many people alleged that Deontay Wilder got hit behind the head. I did not think it was a shot behind the head. I thought it was a shot behind the ear, which is not an illegal shot. But let's just continue. Personally, I don't see any point in time where Tyson Fury's glove looks concaved, but let's continue. Now let's pause it right here. Now you would think, because of the photos that we saw earlier, and this is the right glove that they allege, remember, because they have to allege that he had a dent in the left part of his head. Well, when it comes down to it, does that glove look any concave to you, ladies and gentlemen? It doesn't look concave to me at all. This is why I say that the photos are not authentic. These guys can say overall, oh, it's right there in front of your face. You're right, it is in front of my face. The truth is right in front of all of our face. Tyson Fury very clearly did not have collapsed or concave gloves. Now, you will see certain lightings on it here and there to where it does look a bit odd here and there, but then when it's in a better lighting, you can see overall there's nothing wrong with the glove. And right here is a perfect example. That is not a concave glove. All right, but let's see if there's even a better angle if they replay it again. So that looks about the replays all for round 3. We're going to go to round 4 or round 5, whichever one has the next replay, to try and get an up-close version of Tyson Fury's gloves. And let's continue. So here we're going to see a replay of when Tyson Fury was about to knock down Deontay Wilder with a left hand. So let's see, and that was a left hand to the body. So if you see that right glove real quick, that is not a concave glove, first of all. Very, very clearly. But let's just continue and let's see how he knocks him down. And also for the people that thought, came up with this theory, oh, Tyson Fury was punching him illegally because his hand was lowered down into the glove and all sort of bullshit. You're going to see Tyson Fury's thumb and his fingers clinch inside the top part of the glove when he is about to throw that hook to the body. So let's see what happens. A great angle of the glove. Now, does that look like a concave glove? Once again, there's a reason why I do not trust those photos, because I trust my eyes. And what my eyes tell me is that in the actual fight, there was no concrete evidence, no evidence really whatsoever, of his gloves ever looking fishy. But let's continue. Now you can barely see it, and I'm not going to rewind this, but, well, I guess I could. We can rewind it a little bit. Let's see, what is it, 1833? Let's go to 1830. 1830, right there. Now you can barely see it, but his thumb and his fingers clinch inside the glove. Watch his left hand. Now look, an open fist right there. And isn't it so interesting how a person who allegedly had his hand lower into the glove, how he hits him with the top part of the glove with the left hand every single time? I just find that so interesting, and I might rewind this earlier, but you can go ahead and watch in round one. They show a replay of Tyson Fury landing a stiff jab in the first round. If you don't believe me, you can go ahead and watch it for yourself. But we're looking more for the right hand in this fight, because the right hand is apparently the one that now, after overall that one theory of the hand being lower into the glove went down the drain. Now they allege that padding was taken out of the glove where he had an egg weight in his hand. So let's continue. Let's see if they also have another angle. Let's see if they have another replay here. You know, some people are wondering when Tyson Fury throwed slapping hooks. The reason why he was doing that overall was not because his hand was lower into the glove, but because he was trying to get around Deontay Wilder's reach and he was very uncomfortable trying to deal with that right hand. He did it in both fights. It's really not that hard to figure out, but you got these damn morons when it comes down to the overall. Anyway, this looks like it's about it for this round. I'll pause it and we'll go to another part of the fight. Alrighty, folks, and there's no replays here, but we're just going to watch the 7th round, some parts in slow motion, some parts not, any part where I think we can get an up-close version of the glove. And we're looking at the right glove specifically, remember. So let's see if Tyson Fury's gloves looks, you know, concaved or caved in. And what isn't that interesting? Wasn't that JD's with Deontay Wilder's water bottle? Didn't we just see JD's with his water bottle? But I thought Mark Breland was the only one that had Deontay Wilder's water bottle. Huh. It's almost like Deontay Wilder doesn't believe the shit that's coming out of his own mouth. Ain't that peculiar, ladies and gentlemen? Ain't that a bitch? Anyway. Now we take a look at the glove here. No concaved, no caved in part of the glove yet. Let's continue and let's see if we see anything fishy. And it's round 7, so you would think overall with the amount of punches that he landed that the padding would be completely smushed since padding is taken out, you know. Or maybe he snuck that egg weight in there between rounds. Who the hell knows what these guys allege? Anyways. Another great version of the glove. Does that look like a glove overall that does that look like a glove that's concave, ladies and gentlemen? Does that look like a glove that is caved in, that has knuckle imprints? Once again, man, those pictures that you see, very clearly edited, very clearly photoshopped. Because I trust my eyes and I trust what happened in the fight. There is nothing that happened in the fight that ever looked like those photos. Nothing. But let's continue. Now, once again, you see little shines of light right there where it does look like the glove could be partially concaved here and there, but then once it goes in the shadowy parts again, you see that all it is the lighting. That's all it is, but you never see a point in the fight where the glove looks anything like those pictures have shown. Nothing. But anyway. And there again, you've seen another slapping left hook from Tyson Fury. Because once again, he's trying to get around his reach. But anyway. And I'm actually going to play this in normal speed now until we get super close up. Because that's really the main part I wanted to see. And there it is again. Perfectly fine glove. Nothing wrong with the glove. Let's continue. And there's one of the punches, not really punches, that's one of the times when he sticks his lead hand in his face. Now, many people, many of the idiots that don't know anything about boxing, they'll say, well, why is Tyson Fury sticking his hand in his face like that? He's obviously punching with the lower part of the glove. He's not punching with the lower part of his glove. What he's trying to do is he's trying to stick the lead hand in his face and paw Deontay Wilder's face. He's trying to keep him off of him. He's basically, that's his way of basically establishing distance, throwing Wilder off balance so he doesn't land that right hand. That's what that was for. But anyway.
Appears to be short-circuiting, and there appears to be a hopelessness as this continues down the path of Fury domination. Tyson Fury did a great fake before throwing that combination, and this is what he's going to be doing throughout this fight, feinting and then throwing that big right. Wilder is posting back into that neutral corner, and now Fury's looking to split the guard.
And that overall is when the fight has ended, when it comes down to it overall. So that's really about it for this video, and I don't think they have any replays for the 7th round because it's only 2 more seconds. But when it comes down to it overall, ladies and gentlemen, that would be the reason why I do not trust the pictures when it comes down to the overall. The pictures or these alleged authentic photos that they show. Because there's not any point in time in the fight, and I've watched this fight about 20 times, and I'm not exaggerating with that because it is a very good performance by Tyson Fury overall. I've never seen a point in time in the fight where the gloves look anything like the photos. And that's just the bottom line. It is what it is. Hopefully Deontay Wilder gets past this point of making excuses and feeding into his pro-black fan base, and hopefully soon he'll recover. Hopefully soon he'll become a better man and a better fighter from this. But he is never going to become a better fighter if he keeps feeding into this fan base overall and keeps making excuses. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, that's really about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to y'all later.